Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diamond in the Rough podcast. A few rough-looking guys talking about much better-looking guys on a baseball diamond. We are here today to talk all about baseball and all sorts of other things, and we have a special guest joining us today, BBD, Big Baby David, however you want to pronounce it or talk about it, who is a guy who helps out a lot around the Jomboy Media podcast and YouTube channel and that conglomerate whole corporation going on over there. So we'd like to welcome BBD. How are we doing tonight, my guy?
Hey guys, I'm doing well. Just got home, long day at the office. We did a lot of fun stuff, which I think we just dropped actually. So I don't know, we started a new show.
There you go.
I was going to bring that up
actually.
actually.
But I won Employee of the Week, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Ooh,
there we go.
My parents were genuinely proud of me for it. It's a parody show. I'm just showing you the jokes.
I haven't won Employee of the Week yet, and we've been doing this for a few weeks, so that's a little upsetting. My parents aren't.
Who gets to decide?
Me, I guess.
Who gets to decide who's the Employee of the Week?
I think it's mainly Jimmy's call around us. But
there you go. I feel like we could just get a 3-sided die and roll it and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I mean, I've been giving out
much.
the Employee of the Month award around the office since June, and I've been doing great. It's been me every time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, nobody else has even asked about it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we are going to talk a lot about baseball today, a little bit about Jomboy and everything. If you are listening on Spotify, we also have a YouTube channel at the Diamond in the Rough podcast on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to that. And if you're watching us on YouTube, I'll wave hello to you so we can have some interactive video perspective here. Go ahead and follow us on Spotify. You can take us to go, kind of like taking your Chick-fil-A to go. You're going to take Diamond in the Rough with you. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at DIR Podcast to stay up to date on other guests we'll be having on and all sorts of other things going on with us. I am NMR Sports. I'm here with Nick Thurialt, Mick Miller, and then BBD as well. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube at NMR Sports and Instagram and Twitter at NMR Sports 30. Mick, what do you got going on?
As always, all platforms of Mick Miller 42. That's MIC Miller 42. Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at NickTerrio12, THERIAULT.
And BBD?
That's on Twitter at Big Baby David, BIGBABYDAVID_. Some other dude got it without the underscore and never used the account, so it's a little upsetting. Instagram, I got the no underscore.
Bro, I feel
That's
that.
pretty big.
Someone had NMR Sports on Twitter and Instagram. What are the odds, man?
I got really lucky, dude. I have almost the most common name in America, so it took a while to come up with my my username.
My name
Everyone's
sucks.
got
I just want
everything.
my initials.
Well, Jomboy, I know, he wanted the no underscore, and he talked to the guy that has just Jomboy without the underscore, and he's like, I don't know how to give you this. They talked once, but and now of course Jomboy, my boss, is verified, so now it's like, all right, well, not changing at this point, but
Yeah.
it's tough.
When did that happen for him? When did he get verified? When did he become
it
an
was
official
during-
celebrity?
It was during the baseball season this year. I want to say sometime mid-August. I know we were at the office and about to hit record, I think on a Talking Yanks voicemail episode, and then he was just like, oh, I just got verified. Hit record.
There you go. That's sick.
That's awesome.
Sounds like a monumental occasion. You celebrated it. You celebrated it well.
It was a good day. Pretty stoked, because we also got the Talking Yanks and Jomboy Media Twitter accounts verified that day, so it was a nice clean sweep for our biggest account.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
man.
crazy. I remember finding you guys last year. I'm a big Angels fan, so I obviously hate the Astros, and that's when I think most people found Jomboy and started hearing about him with all that news
helped.
breaking. So that's how I definitely jumped on the Jomboy bandwagon there.
Yeah, me too. That's how I found him.
Well, because nobody talks about us, by the way, the Angels that missed the playoffs by a half a game that season due to the Astros cheating. So
Yeah.
I had some
Underrated victims.
Yeah, right. Very underrated victims there.
Yeah.
And now it's just bad.
Yeah,
Besides
Now they're
exactly.
just
Trout
bad.
and Rendon, and just get a
Yeah.
pitcher.
I mean, the
Another
AL
team
West
won.
is bad enough where we're still a potential playoff team, but then again, so are the Mariners and Rangers. I feel like at this point, so
Everybody's a potential.
It's gonna
in
be
that division.
it's gonna be. You could honestly just roll the dice and see what's gonna happen there in the AL West. There's a chance.
Yeah.
It's like
Never know.
Just roll
exactly.
the dice, man. Just roll the dice.
Yeah, I feel like the AL East had the opposite problem of the AL West though, where all the teams are good. Like I was
Except for the
just making a
Orioles.
video on it and talking about even the Red Sox and the Rays. Like the Red Sox, the Rays, the Blue Jays, and then obviously I feel like the Yankees are the clear favorite. But all three of those teams have potential. They could sneak in and pull something like the Rays did last year, and
Yeah. I mean, all of them, if it goes right. I mean, Boston particularly would need some luck, but the other two are legitimately
definitely.
good teams. The Rays won the AL last year. Boston, if everything goes right, they're a good team. I wouldn't bank on
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
going right, but
yeah.
that's also me being rude, maybe.
I mean, they'll have an ace back at least with Chris Sale, so
I don't know if
And their
Chris Sale's
lineup's
supposed to
good.
come back right at
He'll
the
be
beginning
pretty
of the year,
limited
though.
though.
Yeah, I don't know what his
but-
timeline is or anything.
yeah.
But he's good.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting year for sure. The Eastern divisions are the most exciting. Did you guys see that list that came out?
Yeah.
Ranking the divisions.
I didn't disagree with it. I thought it was a good
I didn't
list.
disagree with it either.
Oh,
mean,
that
it's
was the
pretty
one
clear.
time MLB Network came, or whoever came out with it, MLB Network came out with a good list. I mean, we've debated about them before on here, like the position tiers lists and stuff, but
How did the list
that
go?
list was
So it was NL East and NL East is the most exciting division in baseball, where every
By
game's
far.
much watch TV basically.
By far, yeah.
Same. AL East was second, I believe. The NL West was third, and the AL Central was fourth. I feel like it's honestly the same divisions. Like NL East and AL East have a lot of competitors. NL West and AL Central literally have two teams that are very much the top of that division, and the rest is kind of BS or whatever. And then the AL West and the NL Central are just like rolling around in the mud trying to figure out who's going to get sent to the playoffs. So honestly, it just seems like a tier list at this point. It doesn't even seem like a numeric
That's
order
true.
list or whatever. So.
Yeah,
true.
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't even think you can put the NL East and the AL East aren't the same tier. I mean, because the AL East certainly isn't as good as the NL East competitively.
Well, the NL East is extremely stacked.
Yeah, on paper going into the year, they're clear one.
Yeah, well, I mean, their projected fifth place team made the playoffs last year. So like, there's not much else you can say about it than that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think people are underrating the Mets right now. Like, since the Mets didn't get Bauer, bro, these Mets fans literally just jumped off a cliff. They're all just like, we suck, we're terrible, we're not even
Yeah.
going to sniff the playoffs, we're going 0-162. Bauer was the only chance we had to win a game next year. And I'm like, dude, you have a great rotation, you have a great lineup, and you have a solid bullpen. Like, what are you crying about?
I
I know the
people
Dodgers are
sleep on
going to murder
Carrasco.
everybody, but still.
We've had a good group. They had a nice offseason. I
Everyone's
really
complaining
like.
about their offseason, and it makes no sense.
Yeah, like,
Well,
I don't
they
know.
picked
I
up a
really
lot of
like
guys they
all the
needed.
starters they brought back, and then they go out and add Lindor to that. Carrasco's
and
a really nice
Carrasco,
piece to
yeah.
add to the end of that rotation. They get Syndergaard back at some point, and they're good. I mean, Bauer would have put them over the edge and made them possibly the favorite. But I
Definitely.
like the group of guys they're working with in the bullpen. I mean, it's like enough of these guys are going to work out that you should have a decent year. I mean, it's also the Mets, so they got to prove they're not the Mets before I say they're not the Mets. But
Yeah.
It's a
but
good
I
point.
like the theories.
The
they're
Mets gonna
going with
Met.
here.
I mean,
Exactly.
Stephen Cohen already deleted his Twitter, so that's not a good sign.
That's tough. Yeah, they're
Well, how-
already
how come
letting
he
the
deleted
Mets-y
his
stuff
Twitter?
happen.
I think
I
it had to do
never
Because
with
of
all
the
the
whole
stock
all the
market
Robin
stuff.
Hood hedge fund bullshit going on. Everyone was
They were
attacking
like,
okay,
hedge fund?
okay.
You mean Stephen Cohen?
Yeah.
And everyone just put two and two together. They were just like, yeah.
Yeah. I know his
Okay, I never got
money
an
was in
explanation
the
for that.
hedge fund, but I don't know what level of involvement he personally was. But yeah, people were mad at him because he's involved one way or another. And then it's like, all right, if
We
you're
got in a
rich,
whole
dude,
thing with,
people are being rude to you on this thing
yeah.
you were just trying out. Delete the account, I get it, but it's tough.
Yeah. He got in a whole thing with the Barstool guy, too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They were like going to throw
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah, once they circled him a little bit. Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
imagine acquiring arguably the best shortstop in the game, and then saying it's not a successful offseason.
Yep.
Mets
be
fans.
I don't know.
And
I
I'm
think Mets had
sure-
this.
I'm just good. Like, I'm speaking from the perspective of a Yankee fan, and I'm sure BBD can back me up on this. Like, there's probably people last year when the Yankees signed Garrett Cole that were saying it wasn't a successful offseason. It's like, we just got the best pitcher potentially in the game.
There's people saying, like, but we didn't do anything else. Like, I don't know, that was the most important thing to do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything else
don't know.
was good about the team. I guess in theory, you'd always like more pitching. There's no such thing as too much. The Mets, it's like they didn't get any of the guys they like thought they were gonna get going into the offseason. Like you thought they were gonna get one of Springer, Bauer, Real Muto, someone else. I guess DJ, but I didn't ever think he was going to not the Yankees. But it's like, dude, once you throw out that they didn't get any of those three, it's a good offseason. I really like
Exactly.
If they were any team
for
besides
sure.
the Mets, you get very excited about that as like a neutral person.
Oh, and it's not like they didn't put a competitive offer out for Bauer. They did. I don't remember the exact offer. I think they outbid the Dodgers, didn't they?
They promised him more money. They offered 105. They had it as like a descending contract where the Dodgers were like, all right, 40, then 45. The Mets, I believe they went 40, 35, 30 for the 3 years, and they have the same opt-outs after each year situation. But
That makes sense why he went to the Dodgers instead.
a little bit. I mean, he's always talked about wanting the flexibility and stuff, and this gives him the chance to maximize all that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I think he's
if
only.
he wants to go into his third year and make some more money, he can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if he gets
exactly.
hurt, whatever, he'll take the 17 mil that last year.
It's so surreal to me that he's going to make $10 million, almost more than Mike Trout next year or in 2022. It's just mind blowing.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean when you think about it, because as is like Garrett Cole makes 36 million, so it's like it's over $1 million to start there, and he's gonna make a lot more. And hey, like not my money, I don't care. But
We don't even
but
know if
if
he's
you
gonna be the
actually
best
think
starter
about
on
the
the team.
math. Yeah, I mean, he's as good as it gets in 2020. We'll see. The career he's had, just statistically, the number would be surprising to some, but like he is good. I do believe he is good. Not trying
without a
to
doubt.
shit talk Bauer, but he's not. But like he hasn't had the like Eric Cole career.
Right.
Cole actually kind of was a late bloomer. He hasn't been like a stud the whole time.
Well,
Yeah.
and as people say that all the time, but I think it kind of makes sense because I mean he's come out and said like guys are using this supposedly illegal grip, and like he found out about all this new technology and stuff, and he was like, well, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna get really good, and prove to you guys that no one's actually caring about it and not stopping anyone, and that's exactly what he did. So I mean, and he pitched in the worst division in baseball last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
say what you
That's
want.
another thing
I
you
don't-
got to think about right there.
I don't think he's going to be as good. Dude, oh my. When I made that YouTube video, people in my comment section, furious. They were like, he's only pitched, like, he's never been good. He pitched in the worst division in baseball last year. He's so overpaid. All this, like, they were mad. And I was like, I don't really understand it. I mean, it's
I
not
would
a
be
problem that
surprised
getting
if he's
paid so
not
much.
good. I would be very surprised if his performance isn't like acceptable. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is a risk, but it's kind of a minimal risk because you only have to do the 3 years. I mean, you see the benefit to both sides, especially. I mean, Dodgers, they had to go over the luxury tax to get him at all, so might as well
Yeah.
just go all the way out and pay him what he wants. And if it doesn't work out, he's gone in 3 years, worst case scenario. So
Yeah.
Plus, he's got the opt-outs too, after
yeah,
first and second.
can be gone.
And
sooner
he's-
if
I
you
don't
really
see-
don't want him.
Yeah. Because I don't see any
Yeah.
possible way he opts out after the first year.
Yeah,
Because I don't think there's any way he's going to get more than $45 million in 2022.
Yeah. I say he at least does the first 2 years, and then opts out the third year to try and get a bigger contract.
Depending
At
on how
this
he pitches in the
moment,
second
I
year.
would be surprised if he doesn't opt out after year 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He'd have to pitch pretty poorly after year
Or
2,
get
I
hurt
think.
or something. And
Exactly. Because if he
he's
doesn't,
going to
think
be
he'll get
able
that more
to
than 17.
match, at least in total dollars, he's going to be able to match whatever he's going to get, 17 million the last year. So I would bet on he opts out. Either goes for another contract structured like this one. I doubt he gets as much money promised to him on a year-to-year basis, but that's what he's said he wanted the whole time. People thought he was like backing away from the 1-year deals thing because for a long time he said he only wanted 1-year deals, and now he essentially got that. It's like good for Bauer. He got
Exactly.
everything he wanted.
Exactly.
He did a great job with this contract.
Yeah, Rachel Lua did. They
Yeah.
did.
I'd be surprised if she doesn't start signing some big name athletes coming up soon.
Oh, she will.
I feel like
I think-
Scott Boras might be passing the torch, honestly.
Yeah.
Scott Boras
How
getting
old is
up
Scott
there, and
Boras,
he is-
though? I mean, yeah.
He's pretty
He's
old.
pretty old.
I'd guess he's in his 60s.
Yeah, he's
Isn't
68.
Rachel
68,
isn't
damn.
Rachel Yasiel Puig's manager or agent as
She
well?
has
She is.
Puig too. I'm not sure
Yeah.
who else she's got, but I know.
I know that
That's
she
kind
has
of
one.
interesting,
they're
though.
too big
Like, if
ones.
I'm Scott Boras, I'm 68 and I'm a billionaire. What am I doing? Like, do I really want to keep going? I don't know, man. That's a
I mean,
lot
he's
of
damn
money
good
that
at
you
what
can
he
just
does,
do whatever
so.
you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's
is.
very good at what he does, and I heard he's an absolute awful person to negotiate with. Like, if you're a team, you don't want to sign his player, but you need to sign his player. So
Yeah, if you're a player and you have the chance to have him represent you, he gets his players pretty much the most they can get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, that's why players sign with Boris.
Yeah.
They want to go to free agency and they want to get that max contract. That's pretty much what he's known for. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's crazy. I'm curious if we're going to start seeing more players' YouTube channels and social media presence too.
I think we might. I think we will. I could
Certainly
see it.
more from right now. There's very few guys like doing anything. It's like
Yeah, there's
it's
a few
Bauer.
guys.
Bauer's at the forefront, and there's a few guys who like do some streaming stuff. Trevor May does that. I think he does some YouTube stuff too, like beyond just.
I was actually
gaming, but
looking at
few
Jared
guys.
Kelnick just now, like to get some videos up for him, and then he has a YouTube where he only has like 6,000 subscribers, I think, but he's been kind of like Watch Momentum is with Bauer. He kind of has that thing going where it seems like someone else is running it for him, but he like participates in it, kind of thing.
he's,
I
like,
know
into
Tajay
it.
Antone from the Cincinnati Reds does a lot of Twitch streaming. Obviously, Lucas Giolito's all over the place.
yeah,
Tommy Canley does a lot of streaming on Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah, Kane
Blake
did a
Snell
lot
has
of
been very
streaming.
active.
He was he was the Yankees representative in the show league, and that was the first time I mean, I'm not a big. I don't tune into very many like Twitch streams, but I tuned into some of his, and then I caught a couple. He streams a lot with like COD and stuff, and then
Yeah.
I had like a nice like week or two there where I was tuning into his streams just about every night, and I was like I like broke at the Yankees open their practice facility because I was just watching his Twitch. And
that's funny.
it's like, oh, is this what journalism is? Not really, but I'll take it. Got a lot of likes that day.
Yeah, there we
There
go.
you go. That's what it's all about.
So
Get
I'm
people to push
addicted to
buttons.
clout, baby.
Exactly.
All about the clout.
That's all I need.
Help for the clout.
That's notification.
I love it. Well, we got any baseball? Anything going on around the game we should be discussing besides Bauer?
Is there any? Were there any like big moves?
Fulton Yelich
Uh,
signed with
Yeah.
the Rangers.
Well, there was the
yeah.
A's Rangers trade.
Oh yeah,
Trade
yeah.
For Chris Davis, yeah.
Yeah, we're about to talk about that tomorrow on Talking Baseball ad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bro, the
Elvis
Rangers have had the
Andrews for
best
Chris Davis.
offseason in the
In the
AL
AL
West for
West.
sure.
Yeah. They've made the most
so bad,
moves.
huh?
Doesn't mean
Like,
they're
I
the best team.
Like, they're not the best team, but, like,
Yeah.
they're the only team I've seen make an actual effort to get better this offseason in the AL West. You could argue that the Angels have tried to get better. They just haven't done a good job of it with getting Raisel Iglesias and whatnot. But, like, the Rangers were like, okay, we're not as bad as the Pirates, but that's basically the only thing we can hang our hat on right now. So they were like, okay, David Dahl, solid guy. It's going to be... At least you have another name in your lineup other than Joey Gallo. Because right now it's Joey Gallo and friends. They added him. Then they went out and traded for Dane Dunning, which I really like. I really like that. Because you got rid of a guy, Lance Lynn, who's going to be a great addition for the White Sox. And then now you brought in some young talent. And I think Dane Dunning's a little underrated. Like, under the radar, people don't really think about him as being a solid starter. Do I think he's going to win a Cy Young award next year? No, but I think he definitely has some potential to be like at least a solid number 2 down the line.
Yeah.
He's a nice player. He's
Yeah, and if you
he's
get a
still
lot of
pretty
club
young.
control,
26. He's older than I thought he was, but that
Yeah.
that last year, and then he got 7 games. What 3.97 ERA. That's pretty good.
yeah, exactly.
He
Well,
can
and if you
contribute.
can unload a guy like Lance Lynn, who's definitely up there in years, and Lance Lynn's had some random seasons where he's amazing and then bad and then amazing. You guys, as Yankees fans, are aware of that. So,
My
I
theory
think
is
it
he
was
just
a-
doesn't like pinstripes. I'm scared as a
Sonny
White
Gray.
Sox fan. Just doesn't like
It's
pinstripes.
it's interesting, man. I think that the Rangers made out like bandits in that trade, or it was just a really good trade. I guess it was a good trade for both sides, but the Rangers really got what they needed in that trade. So
Yeah.
I think they've had a really good under the radar offseason, especially in a really bad AL West division. Like I said, the Mariners could win that division. The Rangers could probably get third place in that division with how bad it's going to be. The Astros got
I mean-
worse. The A's got worse. The Angels barely got better. So,
Yeah, it's
They're the
a
most
toss up
improved
for the
team
AL
easily.
West.
yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of Chris Davis for Elvis Andrus, and I know there were some prospects in there, but to me, it just doesn't like the Athletics got considerably worse because Elvis Andrus isn't a good offensive player, and from
Yeah.
what I know, he's not great defensively. And they got rid of a potential 45 home run Crush Davis,
247,
So-
baby. Mr. 247.
Mr. 247, exactly.
This is 247.
So I'm not sure. I don't really understand I know they needed a shortstop. Should have signed Colton Wong. I'm still salty about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
That
salty
That
about that
infield,
too.
bro. God,
That infield would have been insane.
Yeah, Andrews. I mean, the Rangers were planning to move him off short this year too. With it's more due to Kiner Falefa being like an elite defender, but they're gonna have Andrews start roaming around a little bit. I think he can still pick it at short. I'd be lying if I said I've done the deep dives on Andrews' defense. But yeah, I mean, looking at it now, his last 3 years have not been good offensive seasons, and it's a bad overall offensive career. Worse than I would have thought. Based on like OPS plus and stuff, he's had just 2 above average years, which is surprising.
Well, okay, so I know we like to talk about outs above average here, just because it's like the defensive stat that's on Baseball Savant, and he is 6th percent, so he's really, really bad.
defense is a really hard thing to quantify, but even just looking at the eye test, all I think about is that I want to say 2016, 2017 postseason game where he made 3 errors in 1 inning and led to that Jose Bautista moment.
2016.
Like, that was literally Elvis Andrus' fault. That was literally all on
That's the
him.
only reason they didn't advance.
Yep.
Tough. I forgot about that. They've got 3 more years of him because that last year is a player option. So yeah, they got a little money for taking him on. I think Chris Davis has also had a bad year last year. So like I don't know, it's just like a vet
I feel like Chris Davis has such
needing a
better
new
ceiling.
home for vet needing a new home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
guess
don't know
Chris
why.
Davis can't even like fake it in the field anymore. So
But who's
I
the
guess he can
DH for
fake
Oakland?
it.
Why couldn't he DH?
Who's the
I guess it's just about like wanting guys to be able to cycle in and out. Get like, I don't know, Matt Chapman's had some injuries. Get him a day once in a while. Now they have Andrews, who I guess he's not good at offense or defense. Looking at based
Well,
on numbers,
in
defense,
20
so that's tough.
In 2019, outs above average, he was really good. So maybe it was just a bad season for him. But he's kind of up and
small
down all over.
sample.
He has one good defensive season, one good offensive season, or one bad, one good, kind of flip flops. So who
Interesting.
knows what they'll get?
Chad Pinder's going. They're just looking for more versatility, I guess.
Yeah, I can see them just moving players around, just giving them a break. Like give Matt Olson some reps in DH, and
Yeah.
I don't know, someone else take over first. Like
Just get him a day.
just to give
Although
him a
he can
shot.
pick it at first. So
Yeah.
can Chapman.
Oh,
at
yeah.
third.
Oh
He's
yeah, Matt
elite.
Matt Olson's elite out there. But also Sean Murphy, who hasn't played a full season in the major leagues yet. Obviously, he's a catcher, so if they want to give him a rest behind the plate, he could take over DH. I don't know who
Yeah,
the
they
hell
like
their
that
backup
guy.
catcher is, but
According
I
to
have no idea who it
Fangraphs
is.
roster resource, it's the guy that came over with Andrews in the Rangers trade, Aramis Garcia,
Ramos Garcia, yeah.
who's
Okay.
28 years old, and he's like bounced
Oh.
around a little bit. I did a weird deep dive on like all the ancillary parts of that trade on Saturday when it was announced, and I was just sitting around, just filling out the Google sheet for our show tomorrow. So I've done my research on those guys.
Yeah.
Rangers also
But
got
if I
John
was-
Heim,
It's really
nice
bothering
catcher.
me.
Oh, they
If I was
also
the
have
Rangers. I'd be really excited with Chris Davis, though. I would really like that pickup.
Him and Gallo
Oh, yeah,
in the
him in
same
the lineup with
lineup is
Joey
pretty
Gallo.
hilarious.
Yeah. Him.
yeah, they're gonna
those two-
strike out a combined like 450 times, but they'll probably
Yeah, same with
hit-
Ruffin and Odor.
Odor.
Yeah.
Oh, they still have
Yeah.
Odor. I forgot about him.
They're gonna strike out probably like 1,000 times.
I think they're planning to have him try some other positions too, or they were when Andrews was in the mix. I think he's probably penciled back in. No, he's penciled in at third base according to the Fangraphs roster resource. I assume he'll still play plenty of second, but
I'm assuming Nick.
They got a bunch of
Solak's
guys
gonna be
who,
playing
like,
second.
they've got Solak penciled in.
Oh, I
They've-
forgot about Solar.
They've got just like a bunch of dudes who like can't defend their positions. It's a weird group. I don't know what the Rangers are really doing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I would like.
Who knows what they're doing?
The Rangers might like get third place, and then the Mariners will get fourth or something like that. But definitely going forward, I'm much higher on the Mariners when you look at their prospects and like the people they have on the brink.
Yeah.
Like obviously Kyle Lewis came up. They have Jared Kelenic. They have Julio Rodriguez. I feel like there's another guy that they got. Oh, Taylor Trammell.
Yeah, Taylor Trammell.
Yeah, from the Padres.
So they got. I mean, they still have former Yankees top prospect Justice Sheffield. Hasn't come up and done much yet. Potentially,
Yeah,
he
that
might.
nice stretch, I think, in the back half of this past season. I mean, the whole
Yeah,
year is a
yeah,
small
he did.
sample, but
Right.
I remember
especially
that.
half of the year. Yeah, the Rangers, man, they're weird. They're weird. They got a bunch of guys who are like almost good. That I guess you can trade at some point. We give you a sneak peek. We're starting our team profile projection series for talking baseball, and you know it's the order we go in is based on fan vote, and the Rangers were voted the second worst team in all of baseball. This is pre-trade, I guess, but kind of surprising because you're looking at it and they're like they were ranked ahead of trying to think of the Tigers. The Tigers were kind of good. The Orioles. It's like they're behind all those guys, and then we're like looking. It's okay, I guess. It's just a weird group. Although
feels
I
like bias
although I love
because of-
Taylor Hearn and their bullpen, but that's because he is a friend.
Right.
So
But I was just gonna say that's probably that feels like bias because of how much Trevor Plouffe talks shit about the Rangers organization.
yeah, it doesn't help. We were talking about that, or like, doesn't help that Trev calls them the worst organization. in sports pretty
Exactly.
often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a, and rightfully so, he has a bit of a personal grudge with them. But
Yeah.
yeah, he does not like the Rangers, but he loves Kyle Gibson, and I do too.
Oh, that's true.
Friend.
Yeah.
David Dahl's there now. I forgot about that. He's a friend.
Can't forget about Jose Leclerc, the bullpen,
The
Texas
dude.
Rangers bullpen.
Where did that come
Really?
from?
He's
Why are we
nice.
so high on Leclerc?
Because he's amazing.
I think it came from our
good.
overrated, underrated series when we started the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember if I rated him underrated or overrated, but he had a couple good seasons, and he is their bullpen. He's the only decent
Yeah.
one in their bullpen.
I'm a big ERA plus guy. I
So
like
are
that's
we.
like kind of the first thing I look at, just because it's like the quick summarizing stat, and like, I mean, look at his year to year. I mean, they're different sample sizes. He only pitched 2 games this year, so it really doesn't count. But every year, 258, 123, 305, 120, and this year's 117 in literally 2 innings, so it doesn't count. But that's his worst year technically.
Right.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, we're super high on Jake Diekman. I don't know if you've seen Jake
Oh,
Diekman's
yeah.
2020 ERA plus, but it's 9.93. So
Yeah.
we're
The
super
Jake
high on
Diekman
Diekman.
podcast.
Yeah, we are the Jake.
So I
Diekman
guess that's why
podcast.
the A's are going to win the AL West because they still have
because of Jake Diekman. Yeah.
Just because of Jake Diekman, yeah. I could see it.
If they can go
They're
Jesus
replacing
Luzardo
Hendricks.
to Diekman every game, they'll be fantastic.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do we have any other moves that we need to talk about? Or like anything
Marcell
super
Ozuna,
major?
he signed.
He
He re-signed with the
Oh
Braves.
yeah, that happened.
4 years and
Rays
$64
legend
million
Marcell
deal.
Ozuna.
Yeah, just like Jock Peterson's the Angels legend.
Yes, sir.
If I'm a Rays fan, I'd be very upset we didn't end up with that trade or with that signing.
You knew they weren't.
Did anyone
gonna spend
actually
money.
expect him? Yeah,
weren't
did
gonna
anyone
spend
actually expect
money.
him to
Yeah.
sign with the Rays though?
I live.
I mean, he's
I
got
live
to
20
enjoy
minutes
playing in
away
front of
from Tampa,
fans.
bro. They weren't gonna spend a dime. They got Randy Rosarena. Who needs Marcell Ozuna, bro? Randy Rosarena,
That's fair.
20 WAR next season, man.
Imagine.
Greatest of all time.
162 WAR.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
so Marcell
thank
Ozuna-
God he signed with the Braves because
Yeah.
that was so far I'm 1 for 3 on my predictions.
Yeah.
A hard 0 for 2 before that, but I mean, no, I don't think anyone really expected him to go to the Rays. I certainly didn't, just because the Rays don't spend any
No,
money.
It was just a weird
I wasn't
report to
expecting
come
it
out.
either.
And they, I
Yeah.
mean, the Rays have tons of pieces. Like, where would he play? I mean,
And
I know he
Rays,
would
like,
DH, but
And like the Rays' whole thing is playing good defense and being versatile, and Ozuna is neither of those things.
yeah, very much.
He doesn't
not
really
that.
fit. He doesn't really fit on the team. Like they're not like a power-based team, especially like in their lineup. Randy Rosarena is really the only power bat that they have, and
I wouldn't
Marcell
consider him
Ozuna
a
would kind of just
power
ruin
bat.
it. But I mean, in the postseason,
Yeah.
he pretty much carried them to the World Series. That's the only reason
Well,
they
yeah.
were there.
Dude's a freak.
I love Randy
Yes, sir.
Rosarena, bro. So high on that man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, we just don't know what we're going to see out of him. Just because, I mean, he was the greatest player ever to exist in the
Oh, yeah, he
playoffs,
won't put
but
up
there's-
that kind of
He's obviously
production,
not going to
but
do that again, so.
He's considered a rookie
Two
next year,
over
right?
162.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's still
technically
considered
still
a rookie.
Yeah, he's. I will go out and say he is the rookie of the year next year because I can't really
Yep.
think of anybody. I mean, it depends if Jared Kelenic starts the season in the majors. I guess he would be his main competition, but
His
don't know.
possible teammate Wander Franco could come up and break.
that's
Yeah,
a
he
good
got
point,
invited to
but-
spring training. I know a couple other prospects that got invited to spring training too. Bobby Witt from the Royals, and I think Torkelson from the Tigers got invited too, didn't he?
Well, they always get
believe.
invited because, like, my boy Royce Lewis, who I went to elementary school with, got invited the year after he was drafted, and he's been there every year, but he still hasn't cracked the big league roster. On like, he hasn't
Yeah.
actually played in a Major League Baseball game, but he's been in spring training the last 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's
they always
spring
get a
training
small
invites,
taste
doesn't
of it,
matter.
and then they send him back down to minor league camp.
Yeah.
Well, Torkelson was, and he was the guy rumored when he got drafted. They're like, there's a chance he comes up this year, which never felt super realistic. But yeah, I mean, they say that his bat's like ready. Just
Really?
Well, for a hitter, that's super rare for a hitter.
yeah.
I mean, we saw Crochet come up, get drafted this year, and then make it all the way to the big leagues.
was crazy.
Mostly because there was no
Yeah.
minor league season. But like for a relief pitcher, that makes more sense than like an actual
Yeah,
hitter.
that's like happened a couple times
Yeah.
where teams drafted guys.
That
as a
happened with
reliever.
the-
I think,
that happened with
didn't
the Royals that
do it
one
with
year.
somebody? Yeah.
What's his
don't
name?
remember who it
Brandon
was,
Finnegan
but-
or something? It was some random
that's
dude,
it.
bro.
Like,
I think
Oh,
yeah,
he was
Brandon
in my
Finnegan. Yeah, that happened with him.
That was him. Yeah, he was playing in the College World Series, and then he played in the World Series the same year.
Yeah.
That was absolutely crazy.
yeah, that's
And then you think when you make your debut the year you're drafted, it's probably going to be some big star. We can't even remember his name, so
yeah, hasn't
even
pitched
know
in the
where he
big
is
since
now.
2018.
Yeah.
Damn.
Exactly.
That's
I'm sure he'll
tough.
get signed by the Angels.
I mean, I know the the Royals. I think they're also bringing Lacey up, which he was their first
Yeah.
round pick last year.
Yeah, he
That's
got
exciting.
invited to spring training as well. I'm really excited for that. And Jackson
I assume he's
Kowar
not
and Daniel
expected to
Lynch.
make an ETA, make his arrival. This
I think
year.
his ETA is 2022. That's what his ETA
quick.
is. But Bobby Witt's ETA is this year.
I think probably the most major news that happened in the baseball world this week is that Jason Dominguez finally turned 18 years old.
Oh,
And isn't his ETA like 26?
He
2026? Because he technically hasn't even played professional ball yet.
he hasn't played a professional game yet, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think his
that,
ETA
that's been like my whole thing with him. People on MLB.com they say 2024.
Oh,
So
okay.
that would mean We're in 2020, so he'll be 21 then. Because I mean, people on Yankees Twitter is its own thing, but there's people who are like, is he gonna come up at some point this year? It's like, dude, he just turned 18. He hasn't played a game yet, man.
That's what makes me worried. Is that
if he doesn't come up for 5 more years, he's like not even late. he's
Judge
on
Judge
time.
was 25.
Yeah, I don't think
mistaken.
Judge debuted before 25. His first full year was 25, I think. Like, some guys debut late. Or don't debut super early. I mean, in theory, he's supposed to be... I mean, it's so unfair that they're calling him the next Mickey Mantle and stuff, but yeah, it's in theory, when you're labeled like that, yes, you should be up by the time you're 21, but... Come on, you can't put that expectation on him if he doesn't come up until he's 23.
Season, if we had had a minor league season, you can almost debate about whether what level he'd make it to, because we would have seen how he played.
Could he have cracked AA this year? It's like, hey, maybe.
Exactly.
Gotta get him something. Gotta get him something.
Real quick, Nolan and Nick, are you guys? BBD is like super patchy for me. Is that doing it to you guys too?
Yeah, but the audio's there, so it's fine.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if you just wanted to leave
it's a little
and come
bit
back.
patchy,
Maybe
but it's
it would
good.
be better.
No, I thought it was my. I think it's my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi's rough.
Yeah,
Just
I think
try
it's
leaving
mine
and coming
too.
back. See if it helps at all.
The audio is completely good.
Want me to do
I
a
don't
leave,
think it
come
matters
back?
that much.
Yeah. Just try it. See if it works.
I mean, just kicked our guest out. The fuck, Mick?
I just wanted to see if it would be better. I
Mick
didn't want
Miller,
to.
super villain.
I know.
Nick Miller, Clown of the Week Part 2.
He just wanted to talk shit or something.
There we go.
Ew.
All right. I mean, just casually. Hey, join us on our podcast. Okay, leave.
I wanted to see if the connection would be better.
I've played the leave, come back game a bunch.
I knew BBD would know what I was doing. He
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're good.
Interesting.
Any other big news? I'm trying to think of other deals. I don't know. I feel like Kyle. No, we talked about Kyle Bearclaw last time.
Bearclaw?
Signed with the Yankees. Signed a minor league deal.
Shohei got
Is
extended
that from?
for 2
That's
years.
from New Girl. You ever watch New Girl?
Yeah, I love New Girl.
Yeah,
I finally watched that all the way through for the first time.
It's so good.
It was like beginning of the quarantine period,
Every
which I
time
guess is
think
almost a year ago now. So that's
I know. That's scary.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, right.
it flew by.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
Your Angels are doing a bunch of stuff.
They're
Dexter
doing
Fowler.
something.
Oh, Dexter Fowler.
Dexter
Fowler.
Fowler and
Dexter Fowler.
and Angels legend Juan Lagares. Excuse me. Is that even how you pronounce his name? Juan Lagares, I
Juan
think is how you
Lagares.
pronounce it.
Juan
Bro,
Lagares.
Angels
I don't
legend,
know.
defensive replacement level Juan Lagares. Man can't hit a baseball, but my God, can he catch one? So very interesting additions to the Angels squad. Okay, let me just walk you through an Angels fan perspective on this offseason real quick. Because we bring in, first of all, we fire Billy Epler, and I was like, okay, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, whatever. Okay, so find a GM, and then we go probably 2 or 3 weeks or so. It was too long where I'm like, okay, we don't have a GM. People are starting to sign players. We don't have a GM. They're bringing Perry Minasian, and he has a good resume. He has good history in clubs with the Blue Jays and with the Braves. I was hearing a lot about him, and I heard good things. I was like, okay, great. Really good with player development and whatnot. And then he brings in Jose Iglesias, and I was like, okay, cool. He didn't go out and try to trade for Francisco Lindor. He didn't try to go out and get a bunch of more offense when we clearly need pitching. So he's setting us up with a cheap shortstop for 1 year to go out and sign a big name free agent pitcher, right? And then he goes out and trades for Raisel Iglesias, and I'm like, ooh, okay, all right. Pretty reasonably priced reliever with a good, solid back-end reliever, type of vibes there. We maybe won't blow 14 saves in a 60-game span this year. Then, what did we do after that? We signed Alex Claudio or something. And then I just kept waiting the entire offseason just, okay, when's the move going to happen? Then he signs Kurt Suzuki, and I'm like, great, a cheap catcher setting us up to sign a big-name free agent pitcher. And then what do we end up? Jose Quintana, and I'm like, okay, is that like
so
the back
mad.
piece? Is that like the 5 starter we're gonna have next year to complement the big name free agent pitcher we're gonna sign? And then I'm like, okay, we're out on Bauer. Like, okay. So now I'm like, oh, I have no fucking clue anymore. I'm like, okay, maybe Big Maple, James Paxton's gonna be an Angel. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think we're done if I'm being completely honest. But then every time I say that, we go out and trade for a Dexter Fowler or sign a Juan Lagares. So I've just been so hopeful, and my hope just literally just keeps going downhill every single day, and I don't know what the hell Perry Manassian's doing right now because it's such a winnable division, and we could have done it so easily. We could have gone out and spent $290 million like the Dodgers are, so the cap is bullshit. That's yeah, so I don't know. That's kind of the roller coaster I've been on this offseason as an Angels fan. What do you guys
You forgot
think
Alex
on
Cobb.
that?
Don't forget about Alex Cobb. Yeah.
Oh,
Legend,
fuck, I forgot
Alex
about
Cobb.
that. We traded my boy Jomboy Jones for Alex. I knew I was forgetting some pitcher. Yeah, so we literally we have 4 number 4 starters right now and like 7 number 5 starters and 1 number 2 starter. So, you know, things are looking up. Things are looking up. What can I say?
At least they have some sort of depth. to
Yeah,
their
that's 2
rotation.
more number 5 starters than they had last
Yeah.
year.
That's a solid point. That's a very solid point.
At least there's that, but you know what? It could be a lot worse. You could be the Pittsburgh Pirates.
You could be the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Honestly, fuck it. I'd rather be the Pittsburgh Pirates. They don't have Mike Trout. They're not wasting Mike Trout's career
Yeah,
Bro.
that's a fair point.
in a
That's-
winnable division. It's oh my god, dude. Even if we get
Well,
They
swept
know
in
they're
the playoffs,
bottoming out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You don't really expect much from the Pirates. That's another good point. Being the Pirates, you shouldn't really expect much, so the fans won't be completely disappointed, just like Orioles fans. But
we
And you
did
get to have Kotak.
go out.
They do have Kotak.
re-sign-
And my boy Colin Moran.
keep Brian
We
Hayes.
did go out and finally reached a agreement with my boy Shohei Ohtani, the greatest player in the history of the game. The first $1 billion contract that's going to be signed when he's a free agent. MVP, Angels legend, whatever you want to call him, the greatest player of all time. Next Babe Ruth, but better. So he got a nice little 2-year, $8.5 million contract, which would be nice when he hits 40 home runs next year and wins 20 games. No, but realistically, I actually do like Shohei Ohtani. Obviously not that much, but I do think he has the potential to hit 20 home runs next year and win 10 games if he's a starter.
Is he going to pitch, though?
He's
I
going
don't
to pitch
think.
at some
I don't
point.
think. Possibly.
No, he's going to pitch. They're going to at least try him at pitching. I don't
He's
know.
gonna blow his
definitely-
ACL
Take
again.
another go at it.
Because he's not going to just be a DH. They're not going to pay just a DH that much for his first arbitration. Or I guess it would be second or third. But no, they're definitely planning on pitching him. I do think he could maybe find his way into the bullpen or maybe... Because obviously he doesn't pitch every 5 days. He pitched every 6, maybe even 7 days next year. He is going to get some major league innings.
What if he would be a closer? Be the closer.
Yeah,
for
that'd be
the Angels?
perfect. I'm
I think
all
that would
over the
be insane.
Shohei to the bullpen bandwagon.
I really like that move. I would like that move a lot.
But
Yeah,
speaking
no,
of...
uh-huh.
No, I was going to say, not to take the spotlight away from your Angels, but a move that did happen that I remembered. Defensive replacement, Juan Lagares reminded me of it. Albert Almora Jr. signed with the Mets.
Yeah.
Guessing that takes them out of the Jackie Bradley Jr. sweepstakes. This isn't really... I don't know if this move means all that much. I think it's just a defensive replacement for Brandon Nimmo late in games. If Nimmo plays center, then Almora can come in, play center when they're winning, play better than Nimmo would. That's about all I have to say about that, but he did sign.
Yeah. I think he would be a defensive replacement late in games, like especially for Nimmo. Yeah.
I mean, it came up as a pretty big prospect from what I remember, and then it never really panned out in terms of offense. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't really change anything on the Mets. He's just kind of like, I don't even. If you hadn't have told me Alberto Almora was on the Mets, I probably wouldn't have noticed. I don't think he's.
I think
their
he had
starting
a-
center fielder or anything.
in 2020, I mean, he played like 30 games or something like that. I think he had a 23 OPS plus, which is pretty
baby.
atrocious. So,
That's
unfortunate for
disgusting.
him.
That's beautiful, bro.
I just
Short
remembered
season.
that the D-backs made their first move of the offseason, I believe.
Did they?
Signing Joakim Soraya to a
Joakim
one-year
Soria.
deal. I think that's Joakim Soria. For I think it was 4.5 mil. I believe it was
Give him
4.5 mil. Yeah.
So,
He's
50-year-old
pretty much the
Joakim
leader in
Soria.
that bullpen.
If you're in the National League West and you're not the Padres or the Dodgers, I can't justify keeping anyone on my team and not just trading them for prospects that are coming up in 2027.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to win this year. You're not going to win next year. You maybe win in 2023, 2024.
That
The
might
problem
be a
is
stretch.
the Dodgers window doesn't look like it's ever going to close because they
Yeah.
clearly have all the money in the world. They're really good at developing prospects. They have top prospects that haven't come up yet or haven't done like they kind of come up in like Gavin Lux.
Bro, Keeper Ruiz doesn't have anywhere to play when he comes up.
Exactly, and he's a pretty
their
good
backup
prospect,
catcher.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers window isn't going to go away, and it might not ever go away. Which is a
Yeah,
problem.
There
At least
probably
for the,
won't-
at least for
I
the
don't
next 10
think-
years.
Yeah, I don't even think they sign Corey Seager next year because they need somewhere for Gavin Lux to play, unless they move one of them to third. But there's no way you can retain all their talent. But they still have so much in the minor leagues; it's not fair. And they're pitching, dude. They're pitching even this year. One of their like 7 good starters is going to have to be in the bullpen, unless they do like an 8-man rotation. But Trevor Bauer wants to pitch every other day or something. So
Yeah.
Trevor
Yeah.
Bauer's literally like, all right, Trevor Bauer will just be the whole rotation. We'll just go back to like
They're
the
paying
dead
him
ball
for
era
it.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you also hear that too? The dead ball, quite literal dead ball era coming back. They're gonna make the
I
balls.
saw that on Twitter earlier.
I haven't read the article yet. I
I haven't read it either.
saw they're deadening the ball a little bit.
They're going to de-juice it, so they juiced it in 2019, and then they were like, well, that kind of didn't work.
It's too much.
So
too
when
much
Aaron
juice.
Judge comes out and hits 39 home runs, everyone's gonna say he's washed.
Exactly.
Like can't even hit 40. You kidding me?
Dude, how much money
sounds
did
right.
J Happ pay the league to de-juice the ball? That's what I need.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Jay Happ's about to have a Cy Young season in Minnesota.
it's like honestly, I'm not sure how many pitchers were hurt by the juice balls more than Hap. I haven't gone back and looked at every home run he gave up in 2019, but I mean he's a fly ball guy, and he plays in a lot of small ballparks. Wow, words are tough, and
Yeah, right.
yeah, like genuinely, he'd be on the short list of guys I would say got hurt by the juice ball year more than anybody else. Stinks for J Happ. Although things ended on bad terms, them and the Yankees, so I
Yeah.
guess screw him. He's probably a nice guy. I don't know.
It was 34 in 2019. 34 home runs he gave up in 2019.
Jeez. And I'd have to go back. I can't believe I haven't done it yet. They like just go
Who
back
gave
and
up-
look at all of those. But
Who gave up the most home runs in 2019, though? That's what I need to know.
Let's see. I think Justin Verlander gave up quite a bit of home runs in 2019, but it wasn't the most. I remember it might be in the 30s. I think. Yeah, in 2019, Justin Verlander gave up 36.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Did you really?
Verlander gave up
Yep.
more home runs than J Happ. Now, that's a trivia
He
question
did.
I would never have
Two-
gotten right.
2 more home runs, and he
That's
still won
interesting.
the Cy Young.
Yeah.
I mean, they were probably all solo home runs because he didn't get anybody
Yeah.
on base.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it happen in the postseason too. He gave up a few solo home runs, at least that I can remember.
Yeah. Well, his ERA plus was 179.
Yeah, I guarantee J Happ's ERA plus was like 80.
Probably 23, bro.
It might have been 23.
tough.
Was his ERA plus higher than the amount of home runs he gave up? That's the real question.
That I'll say
J-Happ's
yes.
ERA plus is
Hopefully.
91.
Yeah, okay, so
ERA
he was
plus
just
90.
below league average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look.
I don't
you
know.
look
I
at
mean-
Hap's numbers the last 2 years, and they are better than you'd think. Not good, but better than you'd think. If you told
Well,
if you just the full Yankees career numbers, if you told us when we got him, what, 3 years ago now, that those were the numbers you're gonna get, I'd have said okay. Shrugged and moved on.
Okay, if you had told me that, but then you would have said he's gonna come pitch Game 2 of the ALDS this year, I would have said
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
I don't want him.
Big L.
Out
That
of
was
the
a big
bullpen
L.
as like an
Yeah.
attempt to outraise the Rays, and also the
Yeah.
18 playoffs. He very much pooped the bed.
Shit the bed, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to watch your mouth to bite. By the way, it's okay.
Oh yeah, I can curse.
Yeah.
Me.
So when it comes to the new acquisitions for the Yankees, Corey Kluber and Taillon and everything, are you confident with the Yankees 2021 rotation as it is right now? Do you think everyone's gonna, come back healthy, pitch well, pitch to their ability? Who are you high on? Who are you low on? Kind of thing between the guys.
Well, do I think
back.
everyone's gonna do it? No, but they have enough like lottery chips in there that's like, all right, if Kluber, Taillon, Sevy, they just need like one. If one of those guys comes in, then they've got a good first 2 starters of a playoff series. If Herman is Herman, he becomes a really nice option in a playoff bullpen to come in for a couple innings. Or if he's really at his best, then you can start him. Montgomery was nails in the playoffs in the one start he got. So they've got like enough lottery chips in there. It's like, you flip of the coin enough times, it's gonna land on heads at least 2 or 3 times here. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like I like that they kind of went all in on that strategy and then traded for Taillon also.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's like, all right, cool. Fits in the luxury tax plan, whatever. Another guy, it's like, all right, 50-50, he's going to work out. It's like the same thing the Mets did with their bullpen. It's like, all right, there's enough guys here that this will turn into a good bullpen one way or another. No idea which guys are going to be good or not, but which guys are going to stay healthy. But there's no way they all go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd
you
rather
had
a
to
have,
couple
pick-
need to do well.
I'd rather have
Yeah.
3 question marks than 0 as an Angels fan. So
You
had to
know
pick,
what
really
you're
depressing.
getting. You know.
Yeah.
You know what you're
Exactly.
getting. There's no anticipation about it.
yeah,
And I mean, in the past, the
We just
Yankees
gotta
have
put
had a
up
lot
20
of
runs
guys in the rotation that, like, you know what they're getting, and it's fine for the regular season. They're not guys you necessarily want for the playoffs. It's like Tanaka is the only guy you really want to see start a game. Severino's playoff numbers, I've butter knifed him a lot in the past, to the point where I really can't say they've been better than you'd think. But if you butter knife them enough, they actually become kind of okay. He's had some good starts there. You take out the games against known cheaters, and you feel better.
I mean, the wild card game
And his first
in
game
17.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take out his
Yeah, I
first
remember
game
that
ever,
one.
and the games against known cheaters, and that's like all but 2 of his playoff games. But those 2 were really good.
I think he pitched well against the Twins, the worst playoff team maybe ever. So,
Yeah, the
that's
next
just
time he got to
stat
face
boosting,
the
bro.
Twins.
yeah.
that's the equivalent of stat boosting in Major League Baseball.
Honestly, playing the Twins in the playoffs.
Playing against
But if you had to bet on a guy, like if you had to pick one guy you think is probably going to land on heads, being good, one guy probably going to bet on tails, being bad, like who are you taking out of all the coin flips the Yankees have? Who are you higher on? Who are you lower on?
On the Yankees, I'd say among the rotation guys, Kluber, because like it's for me, it's just a question of health. Like even if he's not throwing with quite the same velo as he was before, it's like all right, like I think he's smart enough and good enough to figure it out with whatever stuff he's working with. His dominance in the past wasn't predicated on stuff.
Right.
So he's the guy I would bet on being good as long as he stays healthy. Taillon I believe in a lot, but he's coming off the second Tommy John, so it's like so few guys have come back from that and been the same. I'm optimistic about him, but yeah, I talk myself into everybody because that's what fans do.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I just as an example of that, I saw a post the other day of the Yankees 2015 opening day roster. And I was like, we thought we were going to be good? Like, we had hope back then?
At one point that year, they were like leading the division by a lot.
I know.
I forget
but,
what it got up to.
Man, that
whatever
team was
point.
bad. They had Steven Drew at second base, Chase Headley at third.
Steven Drew year.
Like,
That's tough.
Beltran was at the end of his career starting right field. Tex was
Might
at
have
the
been
end of his
best hitter on
career.
the team that year.
Yeah, exactly.
I miss Steven Drew. Pretty sure Steven Drew did something clutch for you guys at one point. I think he had like a 3-run run game or something, or he did something good in the
He had
playoffs.
something. He I don't remember, but I know like he was the first like novelty Twitter account I ever followed. Because it was 2015. I was still in high school and stuff. It was like it was the like is Steven Drew over 200 Twitter account. It just every day they'd tweet yes or no. It was pretty fun the days it was yes. That was the first ever like joke Twitter account I followed.
That's
Pretty
funny.
fun.
Like, I remember when Chase Headley came over back in 14. I think he hit a walk-off. He got hit a walk-off. I don't think it was a...
It was in his
Beavers,
first
I
game.
remember. Was
No,
it a
he
walk-off home
literally-
run?
Yeah.
He had a walk-off homer in his first game.
And I fell in love with him.
I remember
fell
that.
in love with him
He was
after
literally
that, but
on
then
a
he was pretty
plane
bad.
that day. Like he landed there, got his pinstripes, walked in, and I think he walked in like the beginning or the middle of the game, and then they put him in
I
the lineup.
believe
and
he
hit a walk-off
arrived
home.
late. Yeah, he was like.
Yeah.
he was like a
I
pinch
remember
hit.
that game.
And then they gave him that very bad idea 4-year contract. But,
Yeah, it was,
He
He was
I guess
good
it's
with the
really
Padres.
yeah,
I mean, yeah,
for a
he was
few
pretty good
He
with
had
the
that one
Padres.
full good year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had his Yankee moment. It happened to be the very first game he played, and after that it was kind of downhill from there.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Was it really not his first? He had a walk off of some variety in this game. July 22nd was his first game.
I
Looking
think
at
he had
his
a walk-off
game
hit
logs
that
now.
game. Yeah.
I think he walked it off. Now I gotta go see. Yeah, walk
I
off
remember
single. He had a walk off homer. I think it must have been. It's sometime in September. He had a walk off homer, I believe.
Okay.
That's tough. Can't find the specifics on that right now. Can't be looking through Chase Headley game logs. I'll lose my mind.
We'll go, yeah, exactly.
I always had a
We'll go
soft
insane.
spot for Chase Headley, though. The contract was really bad, but I always kind of liked him. That 17
I liked
year,
him.
He was kind of nice in the playoffs, and I liked that he was willing to move around when they got Todd Frazier and it's
Exactly.
chase ball.
Chase ball. That's a good one.
Loved him.
He was definitely he was good to have around. I mean, even that 17 team, they had Headley, Todd Frazier. I forgot they had Matt Holliday. Like,
Yeah, Matt Holliday was on the team
Yeah.
that year.
Yeah.
I
He
always
like
forget
couldn't
about that.
crack the playoff lineup.
yeah,
I remember
that
Matt
one playoff
Holliday for one reason specifically, just because I was at an Angel Stadium game at batting practice with my glove out, and he hit like a moonshot over the Angels bullpen, but it was like right to me, and I caught it, and I was like, "Holy shit, that was Matt Holliday!"
Uh-huh.
It's like
That's
the only
sick.
I
You know?
vividly remember that season specifically, Matt Holliday being there.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good-
Matt Holliday,
good
Yankees
BP.
legend. Bro, BP at baseball games is a good time.
That's fun. I like
I've
whenever I
never
go
been.
to a game. I make sure I catch some BP.
Oh, it's always a
Oh,
good
especially
time.
Yankees BP.
Yeah, especially
I mean,
Yankees, man.
Well, the Yankees, they usually the home team, they do it so early. They like you can't see Yankees BP at a Yankee game if you're just a fan. It's like it's sad. it like stinks. So, but like
Some
you go,
stadiums suck.
like I went to a game in Philly, which is a small ballpark, and then the Yankees were there. That's actually where I met Jomboy for the first time, and we watched like Yankees BP together. Just like this Judge guy's pretty sick, huh? His BP
Bro,
is,
that
like,
man.
that's like worth more than like actually watching the game.
I'd love to watch his
take some
BP.
BP.
That'd be
It's
so
awesome.
sick.
He puts on a full show. And him and
Yeah, I
Stanton
mean, I
are
feel like
in
they
the
gotta
same
market
group.
that more, right?
Yeah,
It'd be like
I
Home
think there's
Run
been a
Derby,
couple
Aaron
times
Judge.
it's been like Judge, Stanton, Gary in the same BP group, and it's just like crazy.
No, it's phenomenal.
That's something I really want to
Same thing
experience
with-
someday. BP.
Bro, it depends on the ballpark though. Like, because I obviously grew up an Angels fan. I grew up near Angel Stadium, and my dad and I would always get there like as the gates opened. Like, I think they'd open 2 hours before game time. So usually the home team would start 2.5 hours before game time. So we get there like halfway through the Angels BP. So if I like ran to the outfield, I could catch Trout, Pujols, and sometimes Ohtani towards the end. So you'd catch like the big groups, and then you'd see the whole away team's batting practice, but also depends on what team. Because like when it's Yankees, bro, it's a sellout during batting practice. Like you are packed in the outfield, and it's an absolute bloodbath out there. But like I was at a Rays game last season, and I think they literally opened the gates in the middle of the away team's batting practice, so you literally get to see like 20 minutes of it. And I got to see like Chris Davis hit a few home runs. It was kind of cool to see him not miss a baseball. So
That's
My poor,
that's
poor
always
guy,
Somehow-
Chris Davis.
The worst BP session I've ever seen when we were at Pirate Spring Training last year. Josh Bell went
Oh no!
legitimately. He legitimately swung and missed at like 5 balls in a row and then left.
Oh,
It's like I don't know what he was doing. We couldn't believe it.
that's
It's like,
awful.
And this
I
guy's
remember you guys
good?
talking about that. I remember you guys talking
And
about
then he
that on
had
one
a
of the
bad
episodes.
year, and it's like, okay, that kind of adds up because I watched that guy miss 5 balls in BP.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
Nolan's
That's
super high on
hilarious.
Josh Bell. Nolan thinks Josh Bell's gonna bounce back.
Bro, I like Josh Bell. Well,
I
okay,
think
so my dad won a free trip to the 2015 All-Star game. In the 2015 All-Star game, we got to go on the field at the Future Stars game. So I was like 5 feet away from Aaron Judge before he was a name, and I was like, holy shit, there's no way this guy isn't one of the best players in baseball in a few years. He's literally a fucking oak tree in the middle of the field right there. Then I also saw Josh Bell hit an absolute moonshot in that Futures game, and I was like, okay, Josh Bell, he's good ass power bat there. I think he was just in a bad situation in Pittsburgh, so I think he, with some protection
Very
in that
reasonable.
Nationals
Very
lineup, he might have a
Yeah.
pretty good year next year. I would not sleep on Josh Bell coming into 2021. Last year, he looked pretty bad though.
He showed us what he can do in 2019, though. Like the first half of that season, he showed us what he can do. So like, I'm not gonna put it past him if he can do it again.
Was he in the home run derby in
I'd love to see it.
2019?
I think so. I
feel
think
like
so.
he did one at some point.
Because that's typically what fucks people up. Because it fucked Aaron Judge up that first season. Because remember, after
he
the
got
All-Star
hurt.
break,
It
he
fucked
literally
him up.
had like, I think he had a record-breaking strikeout stretch. Like, I think he struck out in, I can't even remember, it was like 50 or 60, maybe even 70 games straight. He had at least one strikeout in. Like, he was still hitting over 300 and, mashing home runs, but
Getting
he
his
literally would strike out
walks.
once a game. What was that?
Got his walks in. His OBP,
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
was still fine. Over
Judge is always gonna do that, yeah.
But he
But
had-
Bell
he had
was
that
in the
big
home run
stretch.
derby in 2019, so
Yeah.
So that's
it kind of makes.
it really messes with players' heads. Like the home run derby, there's a reason that guys like Mike Trout don't do it typically.
Yeah. Judge says he's never going to do it again, so.
Did you guys realize that Carlos Santana was also in that home run derby in 2019?
Really?
Well, it
didn't
makes
know.
sense because it was in Cleveland.
Was that a Cleveland year?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
typically
okay, yeah,
one
that
person
makes
from the home
sense.
team will do it. I was at
Well,
the
I
top
just
for it
never
one
noticed
They
time.
it.
begged one person to. They got
Yeah.
I just never noticed it. When you think 2019 home run derby, you think Pete Alonso or Jock Peterson or Vlad Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. He lost in the first round. Bell did. I'm trying to figure out who the hell he lost to. It's not in this article though.
20.
Oof. This article doesn't paint Felipe Vasquez in a negative light, and that just shows you how much time can change.
How long ago that was?
Yep.
He-
Doesn't say Felipe Vasquez is a giant douche.
Josh
No.
Bell, it looks like, faced Ronald Acuna in the first
Okay.
round of that year.
Yeah, that would make
Santana,
sense.
I
if he was-
got he was facing Alonso in the first round, so he lost to him.
Yeah,
He definitely
Gotcha,
was.
It's
man.
tough.
tough day for our boys.
Bregman was there. Remember when people liked him?
I'm so ready for this 2021 season to be fairly normal. I assume all the players are going to be vaccinated by the time the season starts.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think
At
all
least,
figure
get,
athletes.
at least
so.
get all like the coaches and stuff that are going to be around him.
Yeah.
Players they've said
Yeah.
they aren't going to skip the
Yeah.
line, so I don't know. Hopefully by like the playoffs at least they'll be good, and hopefully. The
I'm just
coaches
trying
are,
to
like,
not
for
have
sure
series
good.
get canceled.
Yeah, getting the full.
Yeah, you
year.
don't want to pull like a Marlins or a Cardinal. I mean, the Cardinals got screwed more than the Cardinals or the Marlins did. Played like
Yeah.
40 games in 30 days, like some ridiculous number where they just had to play a
Something
shit
like
ton of games in a very short amount of time.
You had to play like 12 doubleheaders.
Exactly. It did. I think, actually, BBD. I think right before this, you tweeted this out that there's the MLB and MLBPA were like announcing an agreement or whatever, and it's probably going to have no universal DH, but 7-inning doubleheaders again, with the extra runner on base.
Oh no!
So that's probably going to get announced soon.
Looks
hate
like
that
probably
rule.
sometime in the next 24 hours we'll know for sure what's included or not. But Hannah Kaiser says that she is hearing MLB, MLBPA are gonna agree to health and safety protocols, and expect it to include 7-inning doubleheaders, runner on second, and extra innings, and not universal DH.
Why does anybody
Why?
think that's a good idea?
Why would they
Why?
take the only good rule out of that, not keep it, and then keep the shitty rules?
Like the runner
7-inning
on second thing
doubleheaders I
pisses
can
me
get
off the most.
over, but the runner on second.
That's the
it
most
does
stupid
suck.
rule ever. That's the stupidest rule ever. Oh my god.
It's awful.
I hate it.
Well, because like they
Yeah.
showed all the stats of the pitchers who literally had like 1 inning pitch, 3 strikeouts, and they or no, not 3 strikeouts, but they have one inning pitched. They would give them no hits, no walks, no base runners, and they'd still get an earned run charged to them because there was a runner
like
on
James
second. They give them
Karinchak
2
did.
sack flies.
I don't
That's what
think they
happened to
get
James
charged.
Karinchak in his debut.
I don't believe they get hit with an earned run, but like I don't know, they still have to take
Yeah,
the
they gotta put
loss
it
on their
somewhere.
record.
Yeah, they take the L.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's the loss,
Yeah.
but
I think it goes as an unearned run because it's like
yeah,
in theory they're
it's just so dumb.
It's an inherited
Whatever the
runner,
exact
therefore it would
phrase
be
you
a
need,
so it would be a not an earned run.
Yeah, it'd be unearned. Yeah. But like they need to have the universal DH soon. Like if it gets declined for this year, at least try and get it for next year. It makes the game a lot more fun.
Yeah, I think you get that in the next CBA one way or another.
Exactly. CBA, I think that'll
both
come.
sides are kind of using it as a bargaining chip because they're both kind of fine with that existing. Because why not? But it's just annoying because that's also among these rules. That's like perhaps the one that helps health and safety the most in the health and safety protocols. Obviously not from a COVID standpoint, but just like it's another weird year. We're trying to just avoid as many injuries as we can because the guys are gonna miss games due to testing positive and stuff anyway. Like, can we just not have the pitchers hit, please? Every time I watch a pitcher hit, I get flashbacks of Chin-Ming Wong running around the bases, getting hurt, and like his career being over when he was like my favorite pitcher to watch when I was like a young kid.
I
Can you
I
just
don't need to
please
see
stop this.
exactly. I don't need to see Tanaka get his only career hit and then pull both calves walking or running to home plate. So
It's
Yeah.
not gonna do. Once we got the Bartolo homer, like we needed to. It's like we're not gonna get a better moment than this. We can retire the pitcher hitting.
exactly.
I
It was
was actually just
almost
about
the
to
greatest
say
moment
that.
in all of sports. But then after that, it's
Oh,
like, all right, we
definitely.
don't need that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Like-
worth the like 15 pitcher homers you get every year to watch them strike out or hit dribblers or maybe pull off a sack bunt. But usually, even then, it's a bad bunt. Anyway,
Exactly.
We don't need this. We don't need this.
Yeah, Bartolo should have been like the nail in the coffin to finish off that, like the DH in the National League. It should, or like the
Yeah, he should have come off the field and they
no
should have been
DH.
like, all right. Now
The rule is now
be
gone.
real here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like retire the rule completely. Bartolo finished it.
Well, like
Go out
realistically,
behind
like who's the next 45-year-old fat pitcher who cannot hit? Or like who's the next guy that's like it's gonna
Albert
do it?
Pujols.
He's not a pitcher.
Oh, he's not?
Yeah, he's another pitcher.
No, maybe Brusdar Graterol. I feel like the only guy I can think of is Brusdar
Oh my
Graterol
God.
in 20 years doing it. But
Brewster
in 20 years.
Kenley
Graterol.
Jansen could hit one.
As a reliever.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
Kenley
Kenley
Jansen
Jansen's a
doing
pretty
it.
big guy. Not Bartolo level, but he's kind of thick.
Not
Thick
to
boy.
imagine the relievers doing it. I mean, Jack
Hey, Archie
Flaherty
Bradley.
loves hitting, so if he can thicken up a little bit and get to 45 years old.
Yeah, same with Michael Lorenzen.
oh, Michael Lorenz, dude, that man.
Michael
is
Lorenzen
great.
can hit.
Oh, he can hit. He
can play the field,
easily
too.
be
I
a
mean,
position
like,
player.
he's two-way.
Dude, Michael Lorenzo
Yeah.
might have a better outs above average than Elvis Andrews. Dude, I bet Michael Lorenzen's barrel percentage is better than JP Crawford's.
Probably.
The noodle, aka the noodle.
Yeah, I think it was the very first episode we did. We talked about
It was the
underrated and
players.
overrated players,
Yeah.
and J.P. Crawford. It might be the worst hitter in all of baseball.
The, I mean, I think we said it on air, so I probably can say who it is, but for the sake of anonymity, I won't in case we cut it out. I don't think I did. But we were talking to a pitcher at one point this offseason going through his season. We're like, who do you think you struck out the most? And he's like, J.P. Crawford. Or I don't know if that was the question, but we were talking to him about J.P. Crawford. He's like, yeah, that dude doesn't swing. Like,
I feel like I remember that interview. I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't think the Mariners should make trades. They should not be allowed to make trades. Oh, I guess they got a good trade from the Padres, from Trammell. Because wasn't
Trammell,
J.P.
yeah.
Crawford
And
supposed to be a
Kelenic.
huge trade chip when they acquired him?
Well, they gave up Gene Segura for J.P. Crawford, which is like
Oh.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
J.P. Crawford was like a huge prospect. It was like
Yeah,
him and
that's what I was
Scott
saying. He was
Kingery were
supposed to
supposed to
be-
be like the next studs, and so far that hasn't happened.
Scott Kingery.
Well, the Mariners also
get
got Jared
released?
Kelenic by trade as well, so like that's a good move too.
Who'd they get him from?
The Mets.
he was in the Cano.
Yeah.
Edwin
Oh,
Diaz,
shit, I do remember
Robinson
that.
Cano
Yeah,
deal.
yeah,
Yeah,
I do remember that. Yikes. Full Mets.
yeah. It'd lose
Well, Mets.
Diaz.
I
Mets
guess
gonna
if
Met.
Edwin Diaz can have a lights out season now that they're like good, sure. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and then
they're gonna-
Robinson
Like starting a
Cano shit the
podcast
bed.
with your friends when you weren't paying attention to trades being made a few years ago. It's like three prospects, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Edwin Diaz is on the Mets. That's all that matters, right?
And they also have Cano, and then they didn't have. Now they don't have to pay Cano for one of those years.
Yep.
Yeah,
this year they're off the.
just shit the bed.
And everyone thinks
There's
Edwin
a
Diaz
there's a
sucks now
reason
because he had
Brody
one
got
bad year.
fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, wait, did you say that's the reason Brody got fired?
There's reasons Brody got fired
Yo, yeah. Well, I think
because he
with
made
Steve
very few good moves.
yeah.
Yeah.
When Steve
Yeah,
Cohen
I
came
agree.
in, I think he was gonna get fired no matter what, right? Like, I mean, he obviously made bad moves, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Steve Cohen hasn't exactly made good moves himself. He hired Jared Porter.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a tough one
That
for
was-
the Mets. They just can't. Things just can't go right for them, can they?
No.
Can't
Lol Mets.
catch a break. You're Metsy till you're not. Is
The Mets are just gonna
unfortunately
Met
the
till they
way it
die.
is.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
I'm trying to think if there's like, I don't think there's much more news in terms of like baseball moves that happened. Nick, is there really anything we're missing? No.
Jonathan Scope re-signed with the Tigers for 1
Oh,
year,
yeah.
4.5 mil. Average
Sneaky.
move, I think
Sneaky
it's-
good move.
yeah.
Sneaky playoff team right
It
there.
doesn't change their team at all. I mean, he was on the 2020 Tigers,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, like maybe if he plays for like a full season with the Tigers, maybe he gets like a 2 or 3 year offer if he performs well. If not, he'll just go back into free agency, or he'll be a trade piece.
yeah.
By the
I mean, I
deadline.
imagine they ship him out before the deadline, because I don't think the Tigers
Yeah.
are going to be all that good. I don't
No.
expect them to be all that good.
Like at least try and get a couple prospects out of the deal.
Hit a nice 2020. Do it again. And they
Let's go-
can
yeah,
do
yeah.
something.
I mean, I like
And
some
it's
of the
not-
guys on the Tigers, but at the end of the day, it's also tough.
Well,
being in
they
the
need
division
some
with
of
the
their
White
pitching
Sox.
prospects to come up and do it, because like Casey Mize was really bad in 2020. I know he's obviously super young, but he's got to come up and actually be good. They have some other Spencer Turnbull, I think, is a guy. That's a name.
Bull,
Tarek-
he's,
Tarek
he's I think
Skubal?
20. I think he's like 28 now, so they need him to take this next step. If Mize and Scooble like show it this year, then Tigers fans should be excited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they got more
Matthew
people
Boyd
on.
needs to figure it out too.
Oh, Matthew Boyd. That's the other guy.
Yeah,
That
Boyd.
one good season.
I'm not
Yeah.
not a Boyd guy, but
I mean, you could just
I don't
trade
expect
him
him
and get
to
some
be good.
prospects.
if he's
Yeah,
good,
you don't expect much from him, but Yeah, that's all I got. That's pretty much it.
I think we made it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna ask you, as a Yankees fan right now, I'm super high on the White Sox. Is there, when you think into 2021, obviously I feel like the Yankees are considered quote unquote the best team in the American League. Are you scared of the White Sox dethroning you of that tie? Who are you most scared of coming to the playoffs, I guess would be the big question for you guys.
It's probably the White Sox. They trying to look at the standings real quick and make sure I'm not like missing somebody. Yeah, I think White Sox are the team you're most scared of. I mean, the Astros, I guess, for the most part, still have their group together. Verlander, I guess, isn't going to pitch this year.
I mean,
but,
Verlander's gone. They
not till
lost
2022.
Springer.
But I wouldn't want to face them just because of everything. But yeah, the White Sox are like the team you're nervous about. The Twins. You don't. They have to win a game.
Poor
before
Twins.
I'm
Yeah,
scared,
they have to win a game.
especially as the Yankees. It's like, yeah, the White Sox, they're like really good. I like their rotation: Giolito, Lance Lynn, missing somebody. Keuchel's good.
Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah, that White Sox team, I think on paper is like the team to beat right now. Let me do a quick look.
Yeah, they're scary.
There's somebody else I keep meaning to shout out that I'm blanking on. I don't know.
Pitcher for them? I mean, they signed Liam Hendricks. I don't know if that's
Hendricks,
the guy.
that was the other big one they got. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
he's been like the best reliever in the sport back-to-back years. So
Yeah.
he's good.
I'm always
other
going
than
to be
that,
nervous.
it's like if the Blue Jays take the leap, I'd be nervous about them. The Rays are the Rays; they're gonna annoy you and probably win because they just have their devil magic going. So
That's what I was going to say. That's why I'm never going to...
Yeah.
No, like, Nolan and I have debated this on many episodes, like whether, like, how good the Rays are. And he's pretty sure they're a fourth-place team. And I'm like, I don't see it. I'm always going to be scared of the Rays because they have 9 pitchers that we've never heard of before that are going to come and strike out Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton 4 times a game. And it's like, I
they
don't
play the
want to see it.
matchup game to a T, and you just you trust their organization to like do the right thing, and they just figure it out. But the Yankees have to be the favorite just because you get the full year of everybody, and the Rays clearly didn't make an earnest effort to improve this offseason.
No, they lost quite a bit.
So
Yeah, they got worse.
yeah, and like by their choice, Charlie Morton said a bunch of times he wants to play in Tampa. The rumor was Tampa or nowhere. He ends up picking the Braves because they're close enough to home, but he wants to pitch for the Rays, and they didn't bring him back. They move off Snell because he's finally going to make over $10 million. And it's like, guys,
It's just such a
try. It's
mindfuck,
really
bro.
bad for the sport.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Glasnow was their
definitely.
best starting pitcher. That's
Yeah.
I don't know about you, BBD, but I think we're all pretty low on Tyler Glass now. I mean, we can talk about how he's the hottest guy in the sport, but
He's a
not a great
Yeah.
pitcher.
He's a good looking
I get
man.
why if you're a team you would want to take a chance on the stuff and everything. It hasn't happened. I need to see the results happen. It's kind of like the Twins. Like, look, I know you can be good enough in the regular season. He's good enough to be like a rotation piece. But even then, the numbers aren't where his reputation lies. Like, you're talking about over.
Yeah, he's like his people talk about him up here, but then you look at the numbers and he's more of a this guy.
It's like, hey,
it's
I
very
like
different.
him. I listen to him talk. He's clearly a smart guy. He's gonna figure it out, and the stuff is there. And the
knowing
Pirates
the
certainly
Rays-
wish they had him again, but
Yeah.
trust the Rays
They-
to help him figure that out. But this year he
Knowing
needs
what
to
the
take the
Rays-
next step.
yeah. Well, like
Gotta
knowing
do
what
it for
they
a full
typically
year.
do, I feel like Luis Patino is going to be a damn Cy Young candidate next year because
Oh,
They're
of
gonna.
the
I
luck
think
that
they.
have.
I don't know if they're gonna get like old Rays Chris Archer back, but they did re-sign Archer. They know what he's about.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna be not a stud per se, but he's not gonna be bad for them.
He'll turn in some nice innings. I like that move for them. He's coming back from the thoracic outlet, so it's like
That did
that's
kind of ruin Matt
tough to
Harvey's
come
career.
back from. But he's been working hard and he seems healthy now. And he gets to work with the Rays guys who he's comfortable with. So sure, turn
They
some
also
good
signed
innings.
Michael
No
Wacha, who
problem
might
for-
come back. Michael Wacha could easily come back and be a stud for them just because it's the Rays.
Waka felt like that was like,
Yeah.
he's investing in himself. Take the little 3-year deal. Hope Tampa teaches him how to take that next step in his career and bounce back. Go get a big contract next year.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
these guys just need to bounce back.
The Rays are just, it's so hard to not. Obviously, like, it's kind of shitty the way they do it with their payroll and everything. But my God, if you're any team, just imagine like the money that our teams put in to our teams, which obviously your GM's a lot better than ours is and everything. But imagine being a big market team with the hell of a front office that the Rays have right now. Like if
It's
they
the
were
Dodgers.
to go,
You're the Dodgers. If you have both, you have the money and an amazing front office, and then
Yeah,
boom, you're
exactly.
the Dodgers.
Be willing to spend.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd argue that doing that, I don't know, because the Dodgers have all the money and the resources to do all that. I feel like if the Rays had the same amount of money, they could probably do it just as good, if not better, than the Dodgers could. I think that's a fair.
Well, that's what I
argument to
mean.
make.
The Dodgers have just as good of a farm system, or the organization is run just as good as the Rays
Yeah.
is, and then like they put money into their team like the Angels do, and so when you have that combination there, we're just talking about how their
They're willing to
window
spend
of
money to
success. Exactly.
I'm just jealous.
Dodgers fans, fuck
You
you.
get the flashy
Good
free
times.
agents, but
They're at the top of the world now.
yeah,
And they got to win the World Series last year, and the team like improved. So
yeah.
Yeah.
it's hard to imagine very many other teams adding to the roster after winning the World Series the way.
They
Yeah, I
still haven't
definitely think they're the
technically added a
favorite to
third
win.
baseman yet, so they
Yeah,
still
they do
might
need
go
to
out
re-sign
now.
Yeah.
Justin Turner.
Yeah.
I
I'd
think
be
it also
surprised
needs
if
to
they
have
don't.
Gavin
replace
Lux.
him. Yeah, they can let Gavin Lux run a little bit and play Rios and all that.
Yeah,
So
Evan Rios
they've
is
got the guys
bad.
there.
Chris Taylor's still on their
Yeah.
team, right?
Yep,
Yep.
He's
they lost
around.
Kike, but
So if they just platoon Chris Taylor and Edwin Rios and bring up Lux, I think they honestly have a solution at third
Yeah.
base. They don't need
Have
Justin
those,
Turner back.
those three combined to figure out second and third base one way or another.
But
I
where
still
they
would
also-
expect them to sign Justin Turner though.
Yeah.
I think if Justin Turner has to decide between the Angels, or not the Angels, the Dodgers and the Brewers,
Shut up.
if he, I don't know why he wouldn't re-sign with the Dodgers, unless it was like
Yeah,
some
why would you pick
huge
the
money
Brewers?
difference.
If
Yeah.
they're willing to offer the money or give him the just years of guaranteed job security.
Right, because I know we wanted a 4-year deal, so if the Brewers are like,
he's
well,
still
here's your
asking for
4-year
4.
deal, so
Brewers are willing to give
Yeah.
it to him. And they've got an interesting team. It feels like a weird. They're in kind of a weird spot. I really don't know what exactly they're doing. They have some nice players there, and then it's like, but are you spending? Are you not? Until 2 weeks ago now, nobody had spent any money until the Cardinals got Arenado. They had
Yeah.
as a division had spent like $4.5
Yeah,
million going into
exactly.
that weekend.
Yeah, they haven't
No,
made
and
any
it
Half
was
moves
of
when
on
that
the-
was
division.
Austin Romine.
wasn't it when the Cubs got Jock? Isn't that what that
Yeah,
broke? It finally broke the.
Yeah, then the Cubs got Jock for 7, and the Cardinals got Arenado, which I guess in theory for this year they aren't paying him anything out of pocket.
Yeah.
Talk about
Unless they're
horrible
committing
trade.
long-term money. Central's weird. For a while, I mean, now it feels like the Cardinals have gone all in and are the favorite, but it felt like the race to see who can win the division with 85 wins. All the teams want to win the division, but they don't want to go all in to do it.
Exactly.
it's
I
like
mean,
it's
The
up
Cardinals
for
also
grabs. The
just
Cardinals did
re-signed.
it.
They just re-signed Yadier Molina a few seconds ago.
oh, that's
Wow,
good.
got him back.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
that makes me
happened.
2 for 4.
Via
I
an
didn't-
Instagram post from Yadier Molina. Like you said,
I didn't think
how
he
they
would
always
go
credit
anywhere
who
else.
got it first. He credited Yadier Molina's Instagram photo of him and Wainwright was first. That's the credit.
Yeah, I never thought that he would go anywhere else other than the Cardinals. Yeah, like especially since they re-signed
Yeah.
Waino. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought there were
couldn't
some good
imagine him
fits.
Going somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean there were
It's
some.
like,
Go back to
why
when-
try a new organization at this point? Unless you
I mean,
really
I like
want
him
to,
as
or
a
someone who's going to
longtime
give you
Cardinal.
real money.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
You got a chance to ride the coattails of the Dodgers or something? Get a nice little ring.
I mean, Yachty has 2 rings. Not that he doesn't want
Yeah.
to, but he does have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Molina brothers have rings. Shout out to my Angels for that one.
You gotta get
I
Yachty
love the
another.
Molinas.
Do one more.
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah.
Flaherty's ready to be on a full good team.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Yeah,
very
for sure.
excited.
Huge Jack
Yeah.
Flaherty fan.
Yeah, I like Flaherty a lot.
You've probably talked to Jack Flaherty quite a bit, haven't you, BBD?
Yeah, Flaherty, friend of a friend. You know, he's come on the pod a few times.
Right,
Did the
right.
trivia show with him. So not to brag, I know what his email is.
Ooh,
There you go.
fancy.
So,
Ad.
quick
Ad for-
flex.
Ad for Jack Flaherty's email.
Slight flex. I did a YouTube video where I messaged people, messaged players on Instagram, just like a generic message, be like, please respond to this. And then if they did, I played an MLB The Show game with them. I don't want to call Jack Flaherty out on here, but I'm just saying he doesn't check his Instagram DMs very often.
Doesn't check the message requests.
Some players
There's
do.
your
I got
go.
a full squad.
Yeah.
He,
take it.
Yeah. Watches The Dark Knight 3 times a month.
Is it really?
I don't know how it comes out to that number.
Really?
I've been told it's 3 times a month by. I think he said
Wow.
it when he was on the trivia show, and Giolito told us that when he was on the trivia show the week before. We're like, we have Flaherty coming up. What do you got on him that we can ask him about? He's like, oh, he watches Dark Knight a lot. So if you do a Dark Knight category for trivia, he'll be into it.
Did you guys record all those trivia show episodes? Were they once a week, or did you record them all in one day?
We recorded them, I think, over the course of like 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
We never recorded. We recorded Yelich and Flaherty back to back. We were like kind of running long with Yelich, and it was kind of funny. We're like, sorry, Christian Yelich, we gotta go.
That's funny.
It's kind of funny. We were running up against it with Flaherty, who was waiting very patiently. We love him, but yeah. So hopefully, we're working on getting season 2 of that going. We've got some interesting names going around that I can't say on the air because none of them have confirmed yet. But,
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That's cool.
I like it. I mean,
and the surprise is the fun.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
That's super dope.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm really digging what you guys are doing over there with Jomboy. Obviously, there's
Me too.
trying to get, grow the game kind of thing going on right now, where obviously MLB kind of makes it hard sometimes on us to assist in that. But like the other day, I was watching the Pat McAfee show for the Super Bowl thing, and I feel like you guys are kind of taking over that role for MLB, kind of being that fun, exciting
I do.
show to get people hyped about baseball. So
Yeah, and
Yeah, it's
the
really
plan
cool.
right now for this year, just dominate baseball as best we can. We've got some interesting announcements on the way that is, if everything pans out like we think, those will be fun. And dominate baseball and go on, expand our reach to other sports a little bit. As is, our Talking Giants guys do an amazing job, and they're getting their own following, like really by themselves. They're amazing. Bobby and Justin kill
That's
the Talking
awesome.
Giants stuff. We do Talking Knicks. I co-host that. We put out a good episode on the Derrick Rose trade, so ad.
There you go.
So yeah, slowly but surely, gonna just get all the sports. But
That's
the
awesome,
baseball's
man.
fun.
I mean, you guys, John Boy is like, I mean, kind of the inspiration for this pod. I mean, that's why I wanted to do it after I got once I like saw you guys got into all your stuff. I mean, I was like, fuck, I really want to do that. So then I reached out to
Yeah.
Nolan and Nick, and we started this. So
Yeah,
Kinda
that's
have
why
John
I
Boy to
wanted
thank
thought
him.
too.
a
Thank you for
lack
that, yeah.
of baseball content out there to consume, or there has been. I feel like it's growing a little bit more.
Yeah,
'Cause I remember
for sure.
last
More
off
people
season when the
trying
Angels
now.
acquired Rendon, I couldn't find anybody talking about it. I think I found like 2 YouTube videos about it. So
Yeah, and MLB is starting to get it a little bit. They're working their way there. For a while, they were very bad about it. Now they're willing to have the conversations and listen, and they're starting to get what will help grow the game. And I hope that continues.
Yeah,
I
me
hope
too.
so too.
They
The game
seem to
needs
be
to continue to
slowly
grow.
being nudged the right way. So I'm happy
Yeah.
for them.
I think there's like a lot of dominoes coming up, but then the dominoes are falling against like a super thick brick wall, and that brick wall is Rob Manfred. And then once they
Yeah.
fire Rob Manfred,
Yeah.
maybe the dominoes will start to fall a little bit faster. That's just my
Honestly,
personal
just
opinion.
get some I don't know, like Gen Z intern out there to be the baseball commissioner.
Game would
Just
go like, no, get the person who runs the MLB social media pages to be the commissioner.
Right?
Yeah.
They do such a
Yeah.
good job. They do such a
Oh
good
yeah,
job.
they do. Yeah.
There's so many things they
Espe-
could do.
Let them make the decisions that count.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I trust them.
Or just listen
I
to the
trust
fans.
him more than Rob Manfred.
Go on Twitter. Rob Manfred goes on Twitter, bro. You can see a lot. You can learn a lot just from reading tweets and comment sections. They're a little scary sometimes.
I would
though.
worry. I would
Gotta
be worried
filter
about
out
Rob
some of them,
Manfred's.
but-
Yeah, exactly.
definitely.
I would be
Yeah.
worried about Rob Manfred's mental health if he went on Twitter.
Oh, 100%.
That's probably why he doesn't do it.
I would imagine. It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
It has to do with the owners and stuff too, though. So there's a lot of different things, the blackout restrictions and whatnot.
Yeah, no, the owners are a huge problem as well in growing the game.
Trying.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else. If Nolan, Nick, do you guys have anything? I know we just hit the 1:30 mark, so long episode for us.
I don't got anything else.
Yeah. I think we're chilling. Thanks so much for joining us, BBD. Lots
Yeah,
of good
just
thanks
Thanks
for
for
conversation.
having me, fellas. It's been
Yeah,
a pleasure.
man.
A lot of
Congrats
fun.
on all your guys' success and everything. We'll definitely be tuning into you guys going forward. Excited to see where you guys take it with all this new stuff you got coming out.
I
Can't wait
appreciate
for
it,
it.
guys, and keep grinding, keep doing it. You're doing the good work. Just keep having fun with baseball.
We're
Always,
trying.
man.
We're
Always.
trying.
So that's what it's all about.
Baseball's always good.
Out in the
Definitely.
streets.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're listening on Spotify, thank you for listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, appreciate that as well. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Spotify, Twitter, and Instagram, DIR Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you all in the next one.
Peace.
So we'll salute.